I'm glad to be with my girls because
Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's some serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
All right. Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Where my girls at? It's Monday. It is Monday, and you are listening to We Got Issues. Hello, everybody. You are listening to We Got Issues, 9:10 a.m., the Superstation, WFDF. And I'm your host, Crisette, Ellis, and you know I'm from the D. And I'm excited to be here. As always, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 p.m., we are hanging out with my girlfriends from the Force of Friendship. We got Gloria, Caterina, and Sabrina, and we are so excited to be here on today. Also, we want to remind you, don't forget to download the 9:10 a.m. Superstation app. Oh my goodness, you can hear us so clearly on that app. So we encourage you to download it. Well, it's Monday. I know. So coming off such a wonderful weekend, sometimes, oh my God, it's Monday, right? I pray that all of you had a wonderful Mother's Day. You celebrated, I'm sure many of you were with your families and you did what you wanted to do. And we're going to talk about, what did you do what you wanted to do? Or did you do what they wanted you to do? Right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But I hope that you had a wonderful Mother's Day. You know, I got a chance to be with my children, Kiara and Buddy, and Chuck hung out with us. We had a wonderful dinner and just good conversation. It's just always good to be with your family. So again, I pray that you had a wonderful Mother's Day. Well, you guys, today we're going to jump into our topic early today once we hear from my girlfriends. But today we're going to be talking about how to become a better lover and how to ask for what you want. Bam. Okay. Now you're probably like, woo, I know. So you know what? Love is not just a feeling, it's a language. And so we're going to be talking about the 5 love languages. So you may not know what your love language is, and you may or not even know what your partner's love language is. So go ahead, text your family, text your friends, text your husband. Let me say it again. Text your husband, text your boyfriend, text your girlfriend so that they can get the 411 on how to love you better. Because you know what? Knowledge is power. And this information is going to make you feel good all over. So we absolutely want you to share. Tell them, call in. We want to hear from you. Of course, we love talking to you. We love to hear what your issue is. We love to hear what your comments are. So remember, you can always call us at 313-778-7600. So I'm excited again to be here with my girlfriends, and my co-host on today is Caterina Harris Earl. So I'm going to throw it over to the West Coast. What's up, Caterina?
Hello. I'm excited y'all are here. Hello. This is going to be a great day. Mother's Day was amazing. We were gone all day long, and it was my first time being in the church house, Chris. My first time since February of 2020. And so it was an experience. My mother's church did a great job with social distancing, some inside, overflow rooms, some outside, some on Facebook. Be where you want to be. And of course, I wanted to be with my mama, one of the mothers in her section. She really had a section. Okay. we had a good time, and then my mother is ready for a new car. So we went from the, I think she wants a Volvo. I think that's what she wants, but I'm not quite sure which one she's going to pick. But we went everywhere looking for cars. That's what she wanted to do. So we really did what she wanted to do. And I just want to say for our Facebook audience, if you see me with some shades on, I ain't just trying to be cute. I went to the doctor and he told me I can wear no eye makeup for a month. So this is a problem.
A month
and no lights. A month and no lights. So I am going against doctor's orders with these lights. Okay. I looked at him like, you must not know who I am and what I do.
Caterina, why? Why did they say that?
An eye infection. So anyways, that's what's happening over here in the Harris Earl household. How you doing in North Carolina, Sabrina?
I'm good, but back up, Caterina. Why no eye makeup for a month?
I thought it was blepharitis, but it's derma something itis, but it's an itis. It's an eye infection. I basically have an eye infection. I think I'm allergic to latex from eyelash glue. And I've been wearing eyelashes since I was knee-high to a duck, but during COVID, I've been wearing them every day, all day. And I really think that's what it is, but he's not sure. And the lights also add to the sensitivity. So it's all of that. I bet if we could find out what's happening in the world, I bet I'm not the only one who's dealing with stuff. These lights are no joke, y'all. Okay. So that's what's going on. Anthony had to go too. Think it's lights.
Really? Well, we will take you any way we can get you, okay? Glasses, no glasses, makeup, no makeup. One thing we know is you will not have excused absences. We need you, okay? We gotta have you.
That one don't count, Caterina. Lashes and no makeup don't count.
So I'll be. So you know how they say light eyes, bold lip. I'm gonna be bold lip for a month.
That's
okay?
right.
Bold lip.
I hear you.
Count on it.
Hey, whatever works. Whatever works.
Exactly.
It was a great day. It was a great day in North Carolina. What a great Mother's Day. And Chris, that was right. Do you do what they want you to do, or do you do what you want to do? So I was like, well, what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do? It's your day. It's your day. I said, okay, I want to go to the botanical gardens. They all looked at me like, what? Okay. Okay.
I saw that. I saw that on your social media. I was like, where are they? Where are they?
Right. But it was beautiful. Red birds, sunshine, beautiful flowers. It was a great day in the neighborhood. So I did just what I wanted to do, and it was lovely with my immediate family. It was fabulous. It looks like you guys had a great Mother's Day. We want to wish our tribe. I hope you guys had a blessed Mother's Day because you certainly deserve it. You certainly deserve it. Gloria, how was your Mother's Day?
Oh my goodness, you guys. You know, I was hanging with my mother in love at 91 years old, and I was with my sister-in-law. And so that was fabulous. I had my stepson, Keenan, was here with us. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that anymore. My extra son, what do they call him? Whatever I said on that show that I called my bonus son. Okay, well, that was my bonus son, and he brought me a fabulous gift, and I got flowers coming from everywhere. So that was fun. So it was a great day. It was really beautiful. We went out to dinner, we hung out, and it was the first time my sister-in-law had been in a restaurant at all of any form since COVID happened. So it was a great day. It was absolutely fabulous. And I'm so glad. I loved watching all of you guys' social media and what was going on with each one of your family members and your Mother's Day celebrations. Because, you know, when you're friends with girlfriends like this, you get to know the families, you know, the kids. I was like, where is Sabrina? And why is she taking so many pictures of flowers? I mean, girl loves flowers, but really. And then Chuck was holding every baby in the restaurant, and Kara was talking about, I mean, it was hilarious, y'all. It was hilarious. And Caterina, so it's just fun to watch it. And so we hope that our tribe knows that we're watching them as well, and that you just join us. So we got issues, y'all. We got issues. And this one, okay, Crisette, lead the conversation about let's how to love better and deeper and all. Go ahead. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. I'm ready.
Waiting. I was just waiting for, it's like with you guys, it's like playing double dutch. You got to wait for the time to jump in, right? So I'm excited about this conversation because love is a universal language. I don't care where you go in the world. love is something that everybody can feel and everybody desires it. Now, you might have people that say, I don't have, yes, you do. If you don't desire love, it's just because you ain't been loved right. Because once you've been loved right, trust me when I tell you, you don't want to live without it. And so on today, we're going to delve into the 5 different kind of love languages. Now, some of you may know and didn't even know the name of what your love language is. And so, this is going to be real good. So listen, you guys, we want you to call in, tell us about, what is it that how do you receive love? And if you know, how does your spouse receive love? Did you automatically know it? Is it something that you had to learn? Or you might be, still learning about how to love your partner, how to love your spouse the right way. So, one of the most common relationship issues people face today is the struggle to express love in intentional and meaningful ways to someone else. Nearly everyone wants to show their partner that they care. Yet many people struggle to do it in a way that speaks to their heart. History has shown that learning how your partner receives love will help you know the best way to demonstrate your love and caring. We all know the saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that is something that's straight from the Bible. It's biblical. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But the truth of the matter is, do unto others as they want to be done. Okay, because what I like may not be what Caterina likes, may not be what Gloria likes. So really, you do have to be intentional on finding out how your spouse, how your partner receives love. And so it was Dr. Gary Chapman, who is the author of The 5 Love Languages. And he wrote this book, way back in 1992. Guys, thank you, Sabrina. She is showing the book. Okay. It has sold, you guys, over 12 million copies since it has been published, and it continues to help couples today. So just a little bit about Dr. Chapman. He said before writing the book, he spent years taking notes with couples he was counseling when he recognized a pattern. What he discovered was that couples were misunderstanding one another and their needs. So after going through his notes, he discovered that there are 5 love languages that people respond to. And the likelihood that your partner's love language is the same is unlikely. So if you think that your husband or your partner loves exactly what you love, you may be totally wrong. So when couples have different primary languages, they are bound to be misunderstandings. So if your partner learns to speak your love language, they often feel loved and appreciated and ultimately happier in the relationship. And you know what? We absolutely, we're the force of friendship. So we're all about love. I have on my love sweatshirt today, okay? Because it's nothing like love. And so you guys, let me give you the 5 different love languages. And I'm going to talk about a few, and then my girlfriends are going to jump in and they're going to talk about some of the other love languages as well. So the 5 are words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. Again, that's words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts. Okay, so let me just tell you what words of affirmation is. And this might be you. I know, and you know what? Put it in the chat if you think you know which of the languages each of us like. Who is the one that likes affirmations? Who is the one that likes quality time, physical touch, acts of service, and receiving gifts? Okay, so we're going to talk about words of affirmation. In simple terms, the words of affirmation love language is about expressing affection through spoken words, praise, or appreciation. When this is someone's primary love language, they enjoy kind words and encouragement. They also enjoy uplifting quotes, love notes, and a cute text messages. You can make this person's day by complimenting them or pointing out what they did well. Okay, so those are words of affirmation. And you know what? If you don't understand how important that is to your partner, they may feel underappreciated. And you know what? I believe that most of us, many times, think we know what love language, our spouse or partner. And let me just say this conversation really goes beyond just a partner or spouse. It also is about our family, our children, our sisters. I mean, if you really want to be known as a lover, and sometimes we think when you talk about lover, it's not just sexual. This is the person that you are and how you make people feel. I remember going out to dinner several years ago with Buddy and a couple of his friends. And I don't think any of them were dating anybody seriously. And we were just talking, and I was with my girlfriend, and we were talking, and we got on the subject of the 5 love languages. And we were trying to, tell them what it was. I said, we're going to prepare you guys. So when you get a girlfriend and get ready to get married, they're going to be like, woo, your parents taught you well, your mama taught you well. Okay?
Right.
Be clear.
So we were talking, and you know what was interesting, because I didn't know, what Buddy's love language is. I mean, who really, have that conversation in your family? And we talked and I was really trying to find out what his was. And I thought it was words of affirmation. And he was like, no. He's like, I already know I'm bad to the bone. I already know I got it going on. And I was like, huh? I mean, you talking about confident. So for me to say you did a good job, boy, you're going to be successful. He's like, Mom, I already know that. And I was like, what? So for him, words of affirmation didn't do it. And I later found out for him, it was acts of service. For him, total acts of service. If he came home and I cooked him something or I did something for him, you talking about, he get all lovey-dovey. I was like, dang, I wish I had known that a long time ago. So words of affirmation, being able to tell somebody you appreciate them, you love them, thank you, writing those nice notes. And as they said, sending wonderful text messages and all of that. So that's really, really good to know when you understand how powerful. We all know that words are powerful, but when you use those words and give them to people that love to receive those affirmations, it really, really does make them feel like $1 million. And so the next one is quality time. And you know what? I'm gonna see if you know. I know who the words of affirmation. I know you know who it is. Look, she's smiling, she's rocking, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna turn it over to Gloria, and she's gonna talk about quality time. Gloria?
I cannot believe you gave me quality time. Okay, wait, let me look, because we got a break coming in 2 minutes. But I can't believe that you gave me quality time. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about the quality time, but let me tell you the funny thing about quality time. There's a test that you can take that Gary put together, so you guys can find out, and maybe Chris is gonna tell me a little bit later. Hi, honey. Welcome home from Bulgaria. And there's a funny story about the quality time, but I am one that quality time is not my gift. But do y'all know all 4 of my kids are quality time? All 4 of them. They took the test and they're all quality time. And when they told me that, we were all at home on Thanksgiving, we all took the test at the same time. They told me all that. I looked at them and I said, God has a funny sense of humor to give all of y'all quality time when the last thing I have for y'all is time. That's the last thing I have for you. They laughed, we laughed. So you guys, we're going to come back at you after the break. I'm throwing it back to you, Chris, because I know we have to go to the break, and then I'm going to go into detail about quality time and what that means. But I will tell you, you guys think about these 5 things and think about yourself, because one thing I do want to tell you, it is serious. We can laugh about it, but love languages really is serious when you know how important you make someone else feel.
Absolutely. And so we hope that, as we're talking about this, we want you to call in. We want to hear, if you had to change some of the things that you do in order to make your children, your spouse, your partner feel better because you found out how you were loving them weren't exactly what they needed. And so we're going to delve deeper into this conversation when we come back from our break. We'll be right back at you in just a few minutes.
All right, you guys, we're on a commercial break. We are on a commercial break, and we want to know your love language. I'm going to share them on the screen. Which one are you? Which one are you? Gifts, quality time, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation. Which one are you? Which one are you? Which one are you? Put in the chat which one you are and which one your lover is. Your husband, your boyfriend. Which one are you? For the single ladies, which one your kids are? Quality time. Love it. Adela is quality time. Which one do you think Crisette is? Type Crisette and put which one you think she is. Which one do you think I am? The minute of the dog, yeah. Background bombers. We got background bombers for sure. We got that problem all the time. We got issues all the time. Okay, so type in the chat, which one are you? Oops, I'm sitting here trying to type without my glasses, y'all. Came on late. I have an eye infection, so I'm not just trying to be crazy with these shades on. So, but we want to know which one do you think you are? Everyone likes all of them, but there's always a primary one. So which one do you think you are? Tammy says words of affirmation. Got it, Tammy. Yes. All right, we're coming back from break. Coming back from break in a moment. We want to know what your love language is. Yes. Yeah, you see Crisette's dad in the background. Acts of service. All right, Donetta. We want you to, and Darlene too, both of you, acts of service. Felicia says acts of service and your hubby is words of affirmation. Excellent. Awesome. Here we go. We're coming back from the break. Coming back from the break. Here comes our music.
All right. We got issues with the force of friendship. All right. Welcome back to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. And prior to the break, you guys, we were talking about we are talking about the 5 love languages. Are you a lover, a real lover? Are you loving people the way they want to be loved? And I, prior to the break, talked about words of affirmation, making sure there are people that love words of affirmation. It just makes them feel so good inside. It makes them feel like $1,000, $1 million. And so we're moving on to the second love language, and that is quality time. And it's so funny because the person talking about quality time is the one that is not her love language. But
wait till I read this, y'all. Wait till I read this to y'all. Okay. So I know that some of you listening understand what I'm talking about. And then some of you listening have never heard of quality time as love language, but you will clearly identify with the love of it or the challenge of it. Love. Okay. Quality time, love and affection are expressed through this love language when someone gives someone else, listen to this, their undivided attention. This means putting down the cell phone. This means putting down the cell phone. This means putting down the cell phone. You know, I'm stuck on that part. I look at my kids like, what? Putting down the cell phone and turning off the tablet, making eye contact and actively listening. People with this love language are looking for quality over quantity. So when you get together, they feel loved if you are present and focused on them. Make sure that you have eye contact, affirm what the other person is saying, and listen to this. Here's another one. Refrain from offering them advice. Refrain from offering them advice. 4 kids now, all four of them. Refrain from offering them advice. You guys, this topic is such a funny topic. And you know, it's not just listening to them. Some quality time people like to go places with, you know, like Sabrina said, go to the botanical garden. Okay. They want you to go places with them and turn off your cell phone and look them in the eye. Okay, like really, that's asking a whole lot.
All of that. Yes.
All of it, Sabrina, all of it.
Yeah, all of it. But it is really important. So listen, callers, I know you guys have some funny stories. I know you guys have some turnaround stories. I know you have some real life stories. So don't forget to call us in at 313-778-7600 as I throw it over to Caterina. She's going to tell us about her love story about personal touch.
Which is funny. That is funny too. First of all, it's funny because I have it at 144 font because you know I can't read through these shades. Okay, so that's the first part. Thank God for big font on a computer. But secondly, this is my husband's love language. So if he is listening in, he is talking, he is quality time and physical touch. So here we go. A person with this love language feels loved through physical affection. Aside from sex, those, but that included, okay, those who have this physical touch as their primary love language feel loved when their partner shows physical affection in some way, like holding hands, touching their arm, or giving them a massage at the end of the day. Additionally, I think everybody likes a massage at the end of the day. I don't know about that. But additionally, their idea of a perfect date night might be cuddling on the couch with a glass of wine and a good movie. A good movie with no phone in your hand. They simply want to be close to their partners physically. One of the things that I have learned, things to avoid for people that are physical touch with their primary love language, is physical neglect or sexual touch without avoiding physical neglect or sexual touch without permission from your partner. And so it's just really important. If you avoid that, they don't feel loved. I mean, your physical touch is really important, which requires time. You know, you got to be in the same place and you don't want to schedule too much. So that's it. That's mine. Physical touch.
You know what? Let me just add to that, Caterina, because that is so important as we're talking about these love languages. I remember talking to a young lady and she had, a boyfriend, and he was physical touch. I mean, they go out, he want to hold hands, he want to kiss in public and all of that. And she said to me, she's like, oh, I do not, it didn't creep her out. She's just like, I don't want to kiss in public. I don't want all of that. And they were probably dating for a couple of months. And I remember telling her, I said, well, you know what? That is a need that he has. And I said, if it's something that you really just don't feel that you can give him, I said, you really need to reconsider if this is a relationship that will work. I said, because the worst thing that can happen, if you can't give him what he needs and you still end up with this person and you all end up getting married and you still don't like, because it's just not your personality. I mean, of course, we know we all have to do some things that's not our personality. But if it's to the place where you're like, oh, stop touching me. Oh, that kind of thing where you just don't want to do it. I said, now you leave the door open for someone else to come in and give that person that need. And so I said, this is a conversation that I think really needs to be had when people are dating, because if you feel so strongly about something that you need and that other person just really knows that they cannot give it to you, I think if you're not careful, you can open the door for, infidelity, or open the door for someone else to come in and fulfill that need. So I just wanted to add that to
and just
what you said.
satisfaction. You're going to try and do this, that, and this, that, and what he wants is personal touch. And you're trying to do this, that, and that's going to be a level of dissatisfaction for someone, and it's going to wear on you. Absolutely. Absolutely. OMG.
So let's throw it over to Sabrina. Sabrina, come on, talk to us. Talk to us about acts of service, girl.
Okay. I'm gonna get to my acts of service, but my thing is, if you love somebody, you better learn how to be words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts for physical touch, all of it. Okay, all of it. Because what I don't want to happen is say, well, I'm not physical touch. You can't hear me, huh?
It's an echo, but go ahead.
It's an echo? Okay, I don't know why. But that's interesting, Chris, because when you said, well, if you're not this, well, there could be a case where you could slip into infidelity. Well, my thing is, if you love, seriously, you better learn to get whatever that mate needs or wants. We have to work it. We have to find it. We have to figure it out. Because honestly, this book is so powerful, you guys. And Chris, thanks for bringing this topic to light. I think that we have to learn what people want, and people have to ask for what they want. Many times we don't know how to communicate the need. And in the book, mine is acts of service. And it says, request, give direction to love, but demands stop the flow of love. And so check this out, you guys. Listen to that. Request, give direction to love, demands stop the flow of love. And so acts of service, that is somebody that wants you to do kind things. I mean, really, my sister Regina, her love language, she gives acts of service constantly. That's just who she is. Me, I have to be intentional to give acts of service. I believe acts of service, many people don't really know what that is. Okay, so acts of service. You have a girlfriend who wants to come over and organize your closet just because that's her gift. You have a girlfriend who wants to organize your office. That's her gift. You have a girlfriend who wants to come paint a room. Now, Kenny, acts of service, that's not who he is. That's not who he be. And so, but I appreciate when he says, I'll cook. He might cook once every 2 weeks, and that's salmon, because he's the best at that in the house. But I have to say, dear, we would love for you to cook salmon tonight. And he'll say, really? You want me to cook tonight? Okay, yes, that would be great. Okay. And so
you just told him what you wanted.
Exactly. Somebody said, I love giving acts of service. That's my love language. And so for me, I had to learn to give acts of service because that's just not a natural trait. So we learned through this book that with words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, physical touch, what is your dominant and what's your secondary? And I really believe, Chris, is it true that we can incorporate all of these into our love language? Can we have all of these?
No.
Gloria says no.
I think that you probably have a dominant and you have a secondary dominant, and you have it's 5 of them. So you have one that's your top one, and then you have one that's number 5. And to me, if it's number 5, you could care less if they do or don't do it, because it's not the thing that you desire the most of. And I think you're so right, Sabrina. Even within this conversation, it is a conversation of communication as well. People can't fix what they do not know. And
Right.
so sometimes we suffer in silence because, you know, we think, well, they just ought to know. You know, last time, I got some flowers, I was all over the top. I said, thank you. But they did not. They just thought it was a thank you. And you didn't say, I would love for you to send me flowers more often because that's what I really like, as opposed to just saying thank you. And so, you know, if you don't speak up, then, you know, people are not mind readers. And sometimes we don't get, you have not because you ask not. We say, oh, you got an ASK to GET. So you know what? The worst thing is not to ask. And the person said, well, all you had to do was ask me. So we really do have to ask. Let me just tell you, before we get into the last love language, you know, why it's important to, you know, learn the love languages, have the conversation again with your spouse, with your partner,
Children.
and, you know, with your children, with your sisters. I mean, if you really desire to be the person that makes other people feel loved, it literally is, it's amazing to be that type of person. And so, you know, couples learn more about how their partners experience love. And so this teaches us how to be more empathetic. And when you're empathetic, you're able to understand how people are different from you. I know you think you're the greatest thing on the earth and everybody should be like you, right? But this teaches you how to empathize with other people and to understand that, you know, everybody is not like you. It helps you step outside of yourself for a moment and take a look at what makes the other person feel significant and loved. And then when you have couples that are committed to learning and utilizing the love languages, they increase their emotional intelligence. Now, wow, that's something that you don't hear a lot. Emotional intelligence, and they learn how to put someone else's needs above their own. And so really in learning all of these love languages, it really helps us. You know, most people tend to be a little selfish. You know, we want to do what we want to do because it's easier to do what we want to do as opposed to doing what other people want us to do that, you know, may not be our field house. But to increase our emotional intelligence is really, really awesome. So instead of speaking their own love language to their partner, we have to learn how to speak a language that our partners will understand. So we absolutely want to be able to increase our empathy. And so the last love language is receiving gifts. And I know, you know, we just celebrated Mother's Day, and so many of you probably did receive gifts. You received flowers. I'm sure I shouldn't say everybody, but, you know, we talked about that not too long ago. One of the gifts that everybody received is a card. Probably pretty much every mother got some kind of card. So people who their love language is receiving gifts, gift giving to them is symbolic of love and affection in their mind. They treasure not only the gift itself, but they also treasure the time and effort the gift giver put into it. What's more, they do not necessarily expect large or expensive gifts. The love language receiving gifts is more what is behind the gift that appeals to them. You guys, I'm gonna tell you, this is so funny. When Chuck and I first got married, I'll never forget. I mean, I was so upset. Now I think about it and I laugh about it. And you know, and I should have known, but I didn't know. You know, Chuck, my husband, he hates to shop. When I say he hates to shop, that is not something that he enjoys to do, enjoy doing. And so I never forget when we were dating, it was around the holiday. He's like, I got to go get a bunch of gifts. Go with me, you know, to the mall. And I need you to get me this. I need you to get me 5 perfumes. So I said, okay. So we go to the mall. He said, I'm going now, literally. Now, we're not married. I should have known this, but sometimes we just don't see it. So he said, I'm going this way to get gifts, and I'm sending you that way. So this is me. Gloria, I'm at the counter. I'm smelling fragrances. No, I don't like this one. I'm smelling this. I'm doing all this. I promise you, in about 10, 15 minutes, he came back with all of the gifts he had gotten. I hadn't bought not one perfume I'm like, you got 5 things already? I hadn't bought one perfume.
Oh,
so that
no.
should have really let me know he's not a shopper. So I remember probably it was our first Christmas. I was so hurt when he gave me I don't know if it was a $500 gift certificate to Saks Fifth Avenue. I thought to myself, how impersonal. A gift card? Where? You didn't take the time to look and pick. I mean, when I tell you, I really felt some kind of way. And then as I matured and got older, I realized, you know what? I guess I fussed so much till he started getting me stuff until I realized, I said, Kiera, you know what? Chuck still is Chuck. He go and buy the mannequin, Sabrina. He said, if it looks good on that dummy, it's gonna look good on you. Okay. And I come home and be like, what in the world? Well, I saw it on the mannequin and it looked good. I was like, no, you saw it on the mannequin. You thought it looked good. And it took you 5 minutes to tell the lady, give me everything the mannequin got on. Okay. When I tell you receiving gifts, I think I love to receive gifts, but again, you also have to understand who your partner is. And so, I mean, as I grew and understood that wasn't something that he really enjoyed, and that's not to say that every now and again he hasn't taken the time, but I don't get bent out of shape because I know it's not nothing personal. Right.
I absolutely love that. I absolutely love that story. You guys, there's so many funny stories about the love languages, and we can go back and forth with different things, but I just want to reiterate that, what Chris is saying is, I always tell people, teach people how to treat you. And sometimes people can try to change, but they're not going to be all the way there unless it's naturally. They're going to give it some effort. And so you have to appreciate whatever effort that they give. I love what Carolyn said. I didn't get a gift from me. So I didn't get a gift from him. So I bought flowers for me, from me. I bet you they were the most beautiful flowers. I hope you use his Visa card. Okay. That's the deal. The deal is that if you got to buy something for you, use his money. Okay. And then it'll feel like a gift. So it's a lot of different ways. You guys, I had an assistant. This is a true story. I had an assistant and her love language was personal touch. And she got a migraine headache. She got a migraine headache, and there was another woman working with us. Her name was Darlene. And when Darlene would rub her back, the migraine would go away. A migraine, not a headache, a migraine. That's how important personal touch was to her. If she had that, it wasn't taking medicine, it didn't go to the ER. Somebody had to literally rub her back. So a couple of times I had to call Darlene. Darlene, you need to come and rub her back because she's getting ready to have a migraine. But it's that important. Like it can shift your whole body stuff. And that's the same with gifts. If you like getting them, but he doesn't like giving them, what are you going to do about the situation? Because different things matter more to different people.
You guys, I think the girlfriends would love to know, what are your love languages? What's your primary love language, each girlfriend?
Words of affirmation. I'll say it again. Words of affirmation. I'll say it one more time. Words of affirmation. Ken's love language. Words of affirmation, words of affirmation, words of affirmation. So it's really perfect. Like all we do is talk to each other. You don't have to do nothing for me. No, you don't have to do nothing for me. You don't have to spend no time. You can look at your phone as long as you tell me I'm beautiful while you texting. It is
mine.
That's
interesting. That's interesting. Mine is words of affirmation. Mine is words of affirmation, and Kenny's is physical touch. It's really interesting. And so much that when we first got together, we've been married 27 years, and Kenny was not a real good card giver. He just grabbed any kind of card. And now he knows he better not bring a Dollar Tree card up in here. Okay. I mean, because I'm looking at the back. Okay. And honestly, now he is, because I have expressed how important those cards are. He's the best card giver in the world. He's better than me now with card giving. I mean, he is masterful at the cards that he picks. And it took me a minute to know that physical touch. And because in my business, I always have on lipstick. And so the kisses started to be quick. Bye, love you, see you. And then he started saying, you don't kiss like you used to. I said, I don't? Okay. Let me change that, okay? So over time, we just
Messy, not
reminded,
classy. That's the messy one, not the classy one.
That's right. So in this lesson, as our girlfriends talk about, well, he doesn't do this, I don't know if he'll ever get it. As we go around and talk about what our love languages are, how do we communicate to our boyfriend, our boo, our honey, our husband, our spice, our nice? How do we communicate that? Because it is a skill set and how to ask for what we want. Chris, what's your love language? Your primary?
You know what? My love language is affirmations for sure, and I also like receiving gifts. So affirmations and receiving gifts, and I think affirmations would be top. And then my secondary would be receiving gifts. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, somebody told me this a long time ago. And I was like, dang, I wish I had known this a long time ago. You know, a lot of times when we're trying to communicate to people that are special in our lives about how, you know, what they say or what they do have made us upset. And sometimes we don't know how to communicate that. And before you know it, you're in an argument because you're telling that person all the things that they've done wrong. And you know what? That never, ever works, because you end up leaving that person feeling bad when they really were trying to do something nice. They just didn't know. And so a better way to communicate is to say, when you do this, this is how it makes me feel. And so it takes off the you did it wrong. And now you're just talking about yourself. You know, I feel like this when you do that. And so now that person becomes conscious of, if I do a certain thing, that's how it's going to make her feel, or the individual feel. So I think, you know, communication is key. None of us are perfect at it, but we can absolutely get better at it. But it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy. And you know what? It really does take love. If you love that person, you'll be willing to put in the time and the effort to make sure, you know, that your person, whether it's your children, your spouse, your boo, that they feel love the way that they want to feel love. But yeah, for me, it's affirmations, and absolutely it's gifts. Caterina, what about you? Caterina, I was just going to say, so when one of us, you know, tell you that you don't have to run the StreamYard, you don't have to be the one off, that's going to make you feel real good. We're not quite there yet.
Caterina, yeah.
Unmute StreamYard. Okay.
Unmute Caterina. Okay.
So that is, I mean, I love operating in my gifts. Let's be clear about that. But I just love that. I wouldn't say that, Chris, because that's my gift. But for Crisette, acts of service, your gift is shopping. So, you know, you drop a sister a top. It's like, okay, Sabrina don't have to go shopping. Okay. Her gift is, you know, other gifts. So all of us, we use our gifts, our love languages in our relationship, our friendship as well. So it is absolutely growth. And how does it work when you have, Sabrina, Gloria, you talked about kids that all have the same love language. Sabrina, how about you with kids that have different love languages?
Yeah, you just have to adjust. No, they're all different. They're all different. And like you were saying, Crisette, like Buddy was like, I don't need the words. That's Quincy. He's like, I don't need the words. You know, and then you feel like a fool because you done hyped him up. Right. Like, I don't need that. Okay. Now, Kennedy, he wants it all. Give me the words. Okay. Give me the words. And so I just think knowing yourself and knowing the individuals around you, what makes them tick. We can't say it enough, you guys. We're not getting paid for this book, but we don't have a code to give you. I wish we did, but this book will change your relationships. It really will. And I think we become better parents. We become better spouses. Right. We become better spices when we understand how to make someone feel really good. But it does take the time. You know, how do you ask though? Well, how you ask is in knowing what you want. I believe you've got to know what you want and be unapologetic about knowing what you want. It's okay to speak up, speak out, and now it's on that other person. Once you make it clear, and it's not a demand, it's a conversation. Let's talk about it, because I want to be able to give you what you need. I'd like you to be able to give me what I need. And so once we're clear on our needs, how can we meet in the middle to give each other what we need? And so I think many times as women, we're bashful, we're shy, we don't want to seem pushy. We think, oh, right. Is that too forward? But in this day and age, we have to speak up, because if you don't speak up, you're going to get left out, your feelings are going to be hurt, and you'll be sulking, sad because you didn't speak up. So those are my thoughts there.
Wow, that's so good, Sabrina.
I want to add something that I read from that book. And I want to tell you guys that in a relationship, there's a couple things you can do. Number one, you have to recognize that when there's challenge or friction, sometimes it's because the other person's tank is empty and you have to fill their tank. So if you give a person a lot of what they need, they feel the love and they can respond differently. But if they're words of affirmation and they haven't gotten any words of affirmation in a long time, they're not necessarily going to tell you, I need words of affirmation. It's going to come across to you as being short. It's going to come across as having an argument. It's going to come across as shutting you out or shutting you down. And really, it's their take is full. If you have a person who wants quality time and you don't want to give them quality time, they're going to act out in some kind of form or fashion. So it's really important that you stop and listen and evaluate, is that person's tank empty? The other thing that we talked about is, how do you tell somebody what you need? And before you get mad that they don't deliver it to you, you might want to ask them in this way. I just want you to know that I feel embraced and loved by you when you give me words of affirmation. And I know that's not your wheelhouse. So is there any reason why we couldn't work together to turn up a notch so that I can get more of what I need and I can give you more of what you need? You got to ask for both at the same time. And you have to be vulnerable when you ask somebody. You have to tell them you have to put yourself on the line, that I need this and this is how it makes me feel. And when you say to somebody, is there any reason why? You have to be ready for them to say, I don't want to do that. And then you have to be ready to come back with a kind word, but you also have to come back with a strategy. This is what we can do to get closer, because it may not get to 100%.
Wow, Gloria, that is that was so good. So communication is key. And you know what? We also have to give grace to, our spouse. We have to give grace because, you know what? We're not going to do everything right. And sometimes when you have information and you are more intentional and other person may not be where you are right now, but we have to always acknowledge when they're trying, because we know it's just like with anything else. When you thank people and celebrate them for doing a good job, 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to do it again. It may not, as you said, it may not be at 100%, but I'll take 50% when I was getting 0 before. So celebrate when you see that there is a change. One of the other things, the book talks about, when you start using the love language, that it helps you to maintain your intimacy. Couples who regularly talk about what keeps their love tanks full creates more of an understanding and ultimately intimacy in their relationship. They not only learn about one another, but they also connect with one another in deeper and more meaningful ways. And of course, we know when that happens, they begin to feel more intimate. So, these love languages really, really make a difference in, the quality of your relationship.
Yeah,
They
but
were
Chris,
talking
what
in
about? Okay, go ahead, Katrina.
Sabrina.
Go ahead.
We might have said the same thing. I was going to talk about, there were a few people in the chat talking about what do you do when you're just not getting loved the way you need to be loved? What do you do when you've asked and asked and asked, and maybe you feel like you're growing and you're willing to understand them, but your partner is not willing to do that? Who can speak to that? My number one thing I say is, number one, love them the way they need to be loved. That's really important. You might step it up a notch. That is scripture. When you give, expect it will come back to you. Really put that on your prayer list, and you got to monitor how you're asking for it. So, because if you just nag and beg for it, so timing is everything, especially I know that for me when I'm approaching my husband. So what else would you guys add?
There's also something to be said, this, if it's something that you really need, and I know it means something spectacular when you get it from your spouse or your boyfriend, but there's also other ways to get things that you need that may not have, like if you're acts of service and he doesn't like to take out the garbage, or he doesn't like to fix the counter, or he doesn't like to do that, then either you do it or you find somebody else who can do it. I pay for things to get done that my husband doesn't. He owned a construction company for like 55,000 years, right? 55,000 years. So we had some speakers that we want to install in the bar area in the lower level. And so we had a music guy come in, and Keenan, my extra son, bonus son, and I was standing there, and Ken was standing there. And so the guy said, do you guys know anybody who can put these speakers up on the wall? And Keenan and I looked at each other and said, no. We don't know nobody who can do that, because Ken is not acts of service, and he knows exactly where his belt is and everything. But no, we don't know. So instead of getting all up in the, people are coming, families coming, we got to get this up right. Can you do this for me, please, please, please? No, I'm just gonna pay somebody to put it up there. So I just want to encourage you guys that sometimes we're fighting against ourselves to get something that they can't, or they're not willing to. So you have to decide, is it worth my anxiety? Because I always tell you, they're off doing something else. They're not thinking about you being stressed about it. You're the one that's stressed about it. So how can you reduce the stress? And where can you get some of that? You can't get everything from someplace else, but where can you get some of that from someplace else if you can't get it from him?
Wow.
That's good. That's really good, Gloria.
I just said it's time to go. It's time to go.
It is. I mean, when I tell you this went by so fast, when I tell you this was such a great conversation, and what I know is the good news is that all of us can enhance the love that we give, and all of us can talk about the love that we need. So pick it up, the 5 love languages. I guarantee you will love reading that book. You have been listening to 9:10 a.m. the Superstation with We Got Issues and the Force of Friendship. We will be here tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. Join us on social media at The Force of Friendship. We hope that we've enjoyed hanging out with you, and we will see you on tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Love y'all.
That was great. Great show, great show, great show.
Awesome.
Okay, that
awesome.
was good. That was a great show.
Good.
Wow.
Great job, Chris.
Thank you.
That was so good. It was serious. It dealt with some people. You guys, thank you so much for telling us your truth on Facebook, for letting us into your real world and asking some real questions and asking for some real advice. Because one of the things we want to do at We Got Issues is give you our wisdom, and we want to know your wisdom. This is a give and take here. Give and take.
Mm-hmm. That was good for you.
It was good. It was good. And I love that we don't have all the answers. All we can do is share, discuss, try to find the answers, but we got to talk about it. Many times we have things in our mind, but we're not willing to talk about it. So I'm glad we have open-ended conversations with the Force of Friendship, because we got issues and we talk about it all, baby. We talk about it all.
Yeah, I love Sabrina. I love how you said we don't have all the answers. That is where girlfriends come in. But even with your girlfriends, you got to be sure it's not just girlfriends. You call and complain about your spouse, complain about this. It's not that, but it's, using wisdom. And what Gloria said, a lot of times, stop looking for, you said that to me, Gloria, stop looking for something that he ain't going to give you. Okay. You need nothing else. Okay. Like, Chuck is not your shopping partner. So just give it up, hang it up, and go on out with his credit card and spend all his money. Okay?
Y'all, for real. Don't get an argument with me. Ken, no, don't get an argument. I'm not gonna argue back. I'm gonna take that same Visa card that says banks. Says banks on yours, says banks on mine.
Learn how to create your own happiness. All right. See you guys.
Yeah,
Bye. Bye.